Hey, buenos dias, buenos tardes. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, I want to show you my feature match that I had. Some of you people have seen it already, some haven't seen it. So I decided to react on this and explain my thoughts, why the match ended so quick, what exactly happened, and just in general why I decided to do some specific plays. How did I work with prosperity? How did I work with small world and whatsoever? And just to let you guys know, like my thoughts, and let's go deep inside of this video. Okay, so pause and let's check out what we got. All right, so game one, as you can see, first of all, I got these sleeves over here, the Dark Magician sleeves. I don't play with those usually, but they made me change my sleeves before the game started because the other ones that I had were not right for I don't know, Konami's strict rules, whatever. So yeah, I had to change my sleeves before the game started, and I got those, and I hate those. I really don't like those. Don't Yeah, Dark Magician is fine, but yeah, I'm not the type of guy that likes to have girls on their sleeves. So yeah, whatever. All right, so first of all, this was the first dice roll. Like no, yeah, the first dice roll I won on that day. Like at that moment, out of 11 dice rolls, I only won 4, and that was the first one I got, or the second one, I'm not sure. So I was really unfortunate with the dice rolls, and I didn't know that I was playing against Sky Striker. But if I would have lost a dice roll and he let me go first, I would have knew, okay, I'm playing against Sky Striker. But yeah, Fudge. When we win the dice roll, it's against a deck that would have let us go first anyway. So that's really okay. So my opening hand was Dark Ruler, Chinook, Black Featherwerband, Shamal, and Pot of Prosperity. So it's a really shit hand. Okay, so I knew that one Ash right now could kill me. So I'll start with Prosperity, and I didn't want to banish 6 because people usually Ash 6, which is why I was like, okay, let's go for 3. And the 3 cards that I banished were Dragoon, Muddy Mud Dragon, and I think, what was the last one? I think it was Nothing. Yeah. So we're gonna banish all of these, and because like I said, I don't getting Ash over here and then end my phase on a feature match would be really pathetic. This is why I went for 3, and then I looked at my hand and I was like, okay, if he has draw, I'm losing. If he has draw, I'm losing. So I should actually go and take Vata because I already have Shamal on my hand and Black Feather Weapon. I could play through draw, but I was like, okay, what if he doesn't have draw? What if he only has an Ash or Imperm? Let's say he only has an Imperm. If he only has one Imperm, okay, and this is something that I always expect. I always expect people to have at least Imperm or Ash. You can expect roll, but yeah, it's fine. So I was like, you know what? We on a future match. I don't want to lose like that against a simple Imperm. Like Imperm could hurt us. I was like thinking, what handships could we play through? We can play through Imperms, and I was like, okay, let's go with small world. Let's go big or go home. All right. So I took the small world. That was fine. And then let's put this a little bit faster. And then I activated the small world, and I was like, okay, let's go. I wanted to first of all, I was thinking about to try banish Chinook or Shamal, but I was like, you know what? Let's go with Shamal. No specific reason really over here. But then I got Simoon on my hands. And yeah. Alright. And oh yeah, because Chinook was our only copy, I didn't want to face down banish it. That was also the reason why I went with Shamal. Now we activate Simoon, and I was like, wait. Once I summoned Simoon and he let my Black Vermin go through, I was like, okay. Thank God he does not have Ash. But he could still have Imperm. But I was like, okay. Because my hand was so bad, bro. My hand was, if you have to start with Prosperity and then take Small World and whatever, then your hand really sucks. So, yeah. Now we got Zudri. I explained here to him that this is not my regular normal summon, so I still have my additional normal summon. To explain that if he ashes it, I can still trigger it for a second time if I normal summon. Just try to play a little mind games over here. So yeah, Because if he would have ashed that, I would have lost. But yeah, he didn't have ash, so I was really fortunate. So now Zuji gives me Vata and Shamal to my hand. I'm gonna activate Shamal to get the other Black Feather Whirlwind. I got another copy of Black Feather Whirlwind on my hand, but I wanted to have Shamal in my hand so I can bounce Hamatan back to my hand. Alright, so now with Vata, you guys know this combo. We've done this a million times, right? We've done this a million times. So we activated and okay, so it looked like he didn't have any hand traps, because if he would have had anything, then he would probably lose imprint right now, which most of people do. But yeah, so here is the Blackwing dragon. And then we're gonna banish Hamatan and get him to the hand and summon our Vata. Then we're gonna go here into Boreal Storm as quick as possible, because if he had Nibiru, then right now he can Nibiru us, but if he would have Nibiru'd us once before, then it could have sucked. But yeah, now we are fine playing against Nibiru. Unfortunately, I banished Dragoon, so we cannot go into Dragoon. That was really unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we go now here into Ystrix. Ystrix will special summon our boy Zudri again. And then we can go here into Bardiche and get our rank ups and send Raider's Wing to the graveyard. And yeah. So he didn't know what that card does, so he had to read it again. So I was like, okay, cool. I was like, maybe he does not, maybe he has no clue what's coming. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good for us. Next up, we're going here into Hawkjoe. We summoned Steam, by the way, by attributing Bardiche. Now we get the Steam token out. You can special summon Boreal Storm again. Go into Raikiri. And get the Azure Falcon out here. And obviously, yeah. So if you still get nipped over here, it's fine. Because we still have Zephyros in our graveyard. And then now ball is out. And we Zephyros are gonna bounce back the Black Feather Whirlwinds. And then I activated both of them, so that we can get a bigger board out. Now we're gonna banish those two to get our Blackwing Soul Dragon. I was like, okay, we are in a future match. Let's show him everything that we have. Why not? Because usually I don't go full combo in the first turn, but I was like, we're on a future match. We gotta show him what we got. So he reads through all the effects, and then on his turn he started with Raigeki, and that's where I knew, okay, it's a wrap. He had no idea what's coming. Shout out to my boy Nick, by the way. What a sweet, nice guy. After the match, we talked a lot, and it was really unfortunate. By the way, his hand was really solid. Okay, he had like Raigeki, he had tactics, he had 2 engages. I think like his going first hand was actually pretty nice against any other deck. Against any other deck, his going second hand was actually pretty cool. Just not against our deck, which is really unfortunate. But in general, it's not like that he bricked. It's not about that. But it's just, this is just when you're playing against Caliuga, this is what almost every match looks like. Once Caliuga is out, they're just gonna surrender, because there's not much that he can do, really. And he didn't want to show what deck he's playing, so he just surrendered. And I was like, okay, cool. So after siding, I'm siding my deck. I have no idea what I'm playing against. What cards do I side in? I side in stuff like Lightning Storm, evenly match, basically just ball breakers, because I had no idea what's gonna come. I didn't want to side in too many hand traps, because if it was someone who was playing floodgates, then I would be screwed. So I was like, okay, just side in our ball breakers and then see what's gonna happen from there. And I expected him to go first, because like I said, I have no idea what he was playing, right? So let's check out game 2. Right, so game 2, he said that I should go first. And I was like, okay, I'll go first. And I look at my hand. I have two. Sorry, I got one evenly matched, 2-time Lightning Storm, Black Feather Weapon, and Shaman again. Second time in a row where I had Black Feather Weapon and Shaman in my hand. Like, and I was supposed to go first. I was like, damn, bro, what am I supposed to do now? So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I didn't want to set anything. Because if I would have set the Shaman or whatever, then yeah, it's just fuck it. I said pass it. And then he bricked. And I was like, what the hell? What kind of match is this on a future match? Both of us are bricking in a future match? So, let's check his hand. I think he commented under the video his hand. Let's see. Alright. He says his hand was multi-roll, afterburner, ash, tactics, and change of heart. And then I think top deck he also drew. Oh, the 6th card was a second ash. So he had only one hand trap, tactics, change of heart. So basically the only thing that would do anything against our deck was ash, nothing else. Without the ash, there's not really much that could hurt us. So yeah, really unfortunate of him. But I mean, if I would have gone first, because I thought he was gonna go first, okay? Because if people see Kali Yuga, usually they don't want to make me go first. So I took out the whole Kali Yuga package with the Raiders Ring and the rank up, because I usually go in second. I side those cards out, right? And then he just said, you go first. And I was like, okay, that's definitely a Sky Striker player. Definitely. And I was like, okay, screw it. This is also the reason why I was so confident enough that I just said, you know what? I can calmly pass my turn. I'm gonna survive. Sky Striker cannot OTK, so I should be fine. And then my hand was evenly matched and Lightning Storm. So even if he did go full combo over here, it wouldn't have mattered. Because evenly Lightning Storm completely kills him. And then he said it that one tactics for whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe he tried to bait something, but I'm not sure if I would have set the tactics over here. It only makes sense if it's like something like Caught by the Grave, I think. I'm not sure if that was the way to go. But yeah. And then a top deck Simoon, man. A top deck Simoon. Can you believe it? A top deck Simoon. That's right there is heart of the cards. And then if he would have used his Ash on here, it would have been GG for me. I was really lucky. I was really lucky that he did not use his Ash on this, because in general it's not really that smart. It's like if you Ash it, either if you Ash this and I don't have anything on my hand, it's insane. But if I do have another Blackwing monster in my hand, then it's literally just a loss for you, because your Ash was literally for nothing. So yeah. So we're gonna get Zudri, and then now check this out, because this is something what was really important, because he could have had Nibiru on his hand, right? He could have had Nibiru on his hand, and right here, so we're gonna get our Black Feather Weapon obviously again. So right here, usually what you should do is, if you expect something like Nibiru, which I forgot about Nibiru for a second, but then he ashed my Vata, and I was like, thank God he ashed the Vata, because if he does have Nibiru, then I shouldn't have even played that way. I should have gone first into Boreal Storm and then send Zephyros Boreal Storm and then go into full Armor Master as quick as possible as a 5th summon, so that we do not lose everything, right? Just in case he does have Nibiru. But yeah, he ashed it, and I was like, okay, that's cool. We're just gonna go here into Boreal Storm. What we could have also done is to go into Nofung and then completely the other way. But I was like, okay, maybe that was like a blessing to get Ash over here. Just like a sign from God to tell me, hey, don't run into Nibiru. But yeah, he didn't have Nibiru, so it was fine at the end. But he could have. He could have. So yeah, our fourth summoning is Boreal Storm, and then the fifth one was full armor. And I also thought like I'm playing against Sky Striker. Sky Striker normally they cannot out my full arm master, so I should be fine. So we're gonna go here into full arm master, and yeah. And then on the summoning of full arm master, because if you go this route, then we usually give up a lot of other combos. So this now what I had to do was to get a Zudri to my hand, special summon Vata, and get Zudri to my hand so that I can go into Nothung with Sephiroth and Vata. Like I said, I did not want to run right into Nibiru. That was my only thought the whole time. Because you guys know, if you start with Simoon, one card, Simoon, nothing else, and they Nibiru you on the right timing, it's over. So we're going now into Nothung. And then with thanks to Zudri, we got our second search. And I just feel really sad for my opponent that he didn't have anything. Only had like one Ash, and yeah, it really hurt me a lot to see him. Cause I enjoy having like a good competitive matchup. Even if I lose it, as long as it's competitive and not annoying like with stupid summon limit floodgates. Like that, I still can't get over that one loss I had because of summon limit. Oh man. So yeah, I decided to search here for Chinook and for Gale. Just in case he was somehow able to stop me from OTKing him, I was like, okay, let's get Chinook to our hand. Because Chinook in full arm master usually wins me so many games. And then we go on here into Draco Berserker. Boreal Storm out, and I was like, okay, let's just OTK. And then that's it. And yeah, it was really unfortunate to have played like I said, his game one, his hand going second game one wasn't even bad. It was just bad against Blackwings, not in general. Okay, it was just bad against Blackwings. So yeah. And then here is here's actually my interview after the match. It's in German, so most of you people are probably not gonna understand it. But if you still want to see it, I'm gonna link the video in the comment section below. You can check it out. But what I basically said was I was trying to motivate people to not always play and focus on. I said something wrong. I said Konami, but I was supposed to say meta. Don't play what the meta is telling you to play. But I said like don't play what Konami wants you to play. Well, I should have said what the meta wants you to play. Because right now everyone is playing Labyrinth, Kashtira. I mean this format is pretty fine. The previous formats of Telements, that was a pain in the ass. Everyone was playing Telements. This format is way better, but still, I want encourage people to play a lot of different decks and all their favorite decks. Not only like the most strong, like what the meta tells you is the most strongest, which currently is like cards decks like Kashtira, Labyrinth, Runix, but yeah, it's just annoying if you have to play like 3 games in a row against the same deck. In general, I like to have like just like in the anime. Why do we guys? Why do we fall in love with this game? Like back in the day, we were watching the anime, and when we were watching the anime, it was always like, okay, there's a new character. I'm so excited to see what cards he plays, right? Because every character had his own cards. Obviously, not every player can have a different deck in real life because there are not that many archetypes. But imagine if, like, at least, I don't know, not playing 2 3 games matches in a row against the same deck, like if it's every time a new deck on. And people get pissed at me sometimes if I play Blackwings because they're like, I don't care about losing against Blackwings, no one plays this deck, and I don't want to read stupid bird cards, whatever. But bro, this is why we started the game, man, because I mean, that's the whole point of Yu-Gi-Oh! To being surprised. I mean, that's what the anime was. If in the anime you knew what your opponent was doing, then why would you attack and run into Mirror Force or something like that, right? If you knew what their cards does. If you knew, like, okay, he has a graveyard effect, but he's still, like, in the anime, they still run an attack for a game, even though you know he has a card in the graveyard, but you don't know the card effect because you can't read it in that minute. So you're just gonna attack him, and then you're gonna be act all surprised because you didn't know what that card does. But that's the point of this game, to being surprised, to see like, oh, what the fuck, Chinook and damage type? Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, this is how what Yu-Gi-Oh is supposed to be like, in my opinion. And not always be like, okay, I'm playing against this deck. This deck can do this. He has a graveyard effect that can do this. Where is the surprise effect? There's no surprise effect anymore, and I feel like this is like where it got lost, because everyone wants to know what every other deck does. But isn't that kind of boring to know already everything? I don't know. Like, it's just, maybe it's just me, but I enjoy having like a fun game where you just grind, and be surprised the whole time. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, maybe it's just me. I don't know. But yeah, so I tried to motivate people here, encourage people to play other decks besides the ones that are always like top tier meta. Just take your favorite deck and take out the full potential of that archetype, and sometimes things that you thought were not possible are suddenly possible. And that's why I try to explain to people that when you look at every single Blackwing card, you feel like the deck is weak. But like when you put it all together, you realize that you can do things that you couldn't even imagine of. For example, playing Dragoon, summoning Dragoon so easily with a one card Simoon. You can so easily go into Dragoon, Caliuga, Baller, whoa. Things you could have never imagined. And now, imagine what other decks could possibly do if you would just spend your time and effort in only one archetype instead of just switching decks every month. You know do you see what I'm talking about? You don't have to do that. Don't switch your decks every month. Why not just fall in love with a deck and try to make it as competitive as possible, even though everyone says the deck sucks? I don't know, man. Maybe it's just an old school, old head thinking. But winning with a deck that you created yourself is so much more enjoyable, and I can't even tell you how happy it makes someone after a match to realize, hey, I just won with my own strategy, with my own combo, with whatever. It's a completely other joy. I can't even tell you how proud it can make you. And yeah, I also mentioned like the whole Blackwing community in this video, but it wasn't. Yeah, it's in German, just in German, so you're probably not gonna understand. But yeah, so I was, because I never talked about myself. I only talked about like we as a community. I kept telling like, yeah, we as the Blackwings and blah blah. I just, people underestimate us and we are so good and blah 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 blah. Because I don't know, I don't feel like I'm alone playing this deck, because we get so many ideas and inspirations from everyone. Like, you guys have no idea, like, and I appreciate you, every single subscriber, whatever, they've been keep giving me new ideas For example, even the beautiful Noctovision Small World Bridge. Shout out to Steve, man. Thank you so much again. And yeah, that's why like we all work together on this deck. Everyone together. So this is why I kept talking like as from our we perspective and not like from myself, because yeah, we have accomplished this as a community together, not only myself. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, huge shout out again to my opponent Nick. Really nice guy. I love you, man. I'm sorry I had to end this way. But yeah. Alright. That's it guys. I love you. Please take care and bye bye.